Hello Internet, I am the hero of Julios once again with another Digimon card video. It's been a while, I'll have to admit. It's been a lot of the shorts with the heroes versus villains, which has seen like a little bit of success here and there. If you're subscribed to me exclusively on the computer, I've noticed that you don't really see those. They mostly only pop up in the cell phone app version. Go ahead, go to my channel, check it out. There's a bit of a backlog. I made a playlist of it if you are interested in following it from the beginning. It's only like 20-30 seconds each, so it's not that hard. But today we are going to be opening the Double Diamond Booster Box. It's got 24 packs in it and 12 cards per pack. The big things we're hoping for here is obviously Agumon and Agumon Bond of Bravery. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty big fan of the Agumon family. So we also have some special extra booster packs. So Double Diamond obviously has a dash pack system, just like 1.0, 1.5, and Great Legend. For some reason, Battle for Omni didn't have it, but what's awesome about these is that they are exclusive to America. We actually got, or not America, but English-speaking countries. We actually got them first. So, going to start with those, and before that one, I have a Store Championship participant pack. I participated in my locals, and I came in third for the first day, and then the second day I wonderfully took last place because my brother is a better deck builder than me. I borrowed his deck and made some changes to it, which I admittedly should not have made. But for those who are with me at my locals and play with me every week, you'll know that this is the pack that I agreed to open on my channel. So without further ado, let's see what we got for participating. Ooh, that opened up nicely. And it is, I closed my eyes, I'm going to hold it up in front of the camera, and it is Hagurumon. Well, that's a good one. It's 2 cost to play, 3,000 power. It's a pretty solid black Digimon card. I do like the Demi-Marimon in the background for it. It's a nice alternate art. We're going to put that in a card sleeve just because of how holographic it is. And that is proof that I participated in a store championship. For those of you who are wondering if if you played 2 days, why do you only have one? I do a thing called a Schrodinger booster pack collection where I just keep 1 pack of every kind of pack I've gotten my hands on. Fortunately, I already got my hands on a dash pack, so you guys get both of the packs that came with this box. And I'm going to buy another box because my local game store I DM for, I have saved up a lot of store credit in the time it took to wait for this. So I will be opening, don't worry, the pack that comes inside of here will be opened. So let's get on with our dash pack. Dash pack number 1. We're hoping for Wizardmon because I really like the inherited effect that Wizardmon brings. Unfortunately, we are not getting that. Instead, we are getting Kudamon. You can return 1 Kentarosmon from your trash to the bottom of your deck to trigger recovery +1. It's pretty good. It's a good use of not having your Kentarosmon anymore. He got deleted, he got defeated. And then it has an on deletion inherited. One of your opponent's Digimon loses 1,000 DP for the turn. So he's good to on play, Digivolve into, and then thrust yourself into the enemy to try and weaken them to help, win a fight. Okay, come on. Our second one is Gabumon. This one, you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Then you add a Tamer among them to your hand and place the rest at the bottom of your deck. This is like the BT1 Agumon, except it's a blue Digimon and it's Gabumon. So for those of you who are running a Bond of Bravery deck, or not Bravery, a Bond of Friendship deck, or maybe just a Garurumon tribal deck, this is actually a really good card. I use it all the time with my Agumon deck, and I was actually wondering why there wasn't a Gabumon version. So now we are on to the big important part, the part where I try not to look in the pack while also opening up the box. That failed, but Ooh yeah, doesn't that look nice? Nice little opened box right there. Our box topper is Pinamon. It's inherited as when attacking, once per turn. If you attack an opponent's Digimon, trigger draw 1. Personally, the entraining, the egg Digimon as box toppers, it's kind of like the 1.5 where it's nice, but I would have rather the tamers been box toppers. So that's just a personal opinion. And then, of course, we have this 1 year anniversary promo pack. This is a reprint alternate art of like the Japan's top 10 favorite cards from the card game when the first year hit in Japan. So, well, any of these could be something really good. Any of these could be something not so good. But let's see which one we get. And we got... Oh, that's nice. Look at that texture. That is an alternate art of Millenniumon from BT2. He is a level 7 Digimon, so he is beyond Mega. When Digivolving, you can return one of our opponent's Digimon to the bottom of their deck. And when he's deleted, if this Digimon had Digivolution cards, we can play this card from our trash without paying its memory cost. That's a pretty intense Digimon right there. Look at all that. I love what's going on with this artwork, though. The textured, holographic look to it. It's very nice. And very fitting as a celebration of the first year of the Digimon card game. So admittedly, this is not the first Double Diamond Booster Pack I'm opening. I actually managed to get my hands on some during a pre-release event. But, this is still the first Double Diamond Booster Pack for the channel. So let's see what we got. We got Dragomon. When Digivolving, we return one of our opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon with no Digivolution cards to its owner's hand. Then we got this toy Agumon. Its inherited effect gives blocker Digimon an extra 1000 DP. Then we got Ashiramon, who is a ultimate level Digimon, which gives us Blitz to himself. That's pretty nice. Ooh, this is one I've been looking for. Ginkakumon. For those of you who keep track with Japan circuit, Ginkakumon with Ginkakumon, and then the Ginkakumon promote card. We're going to be saying that a lot. It's just a really nice combo. But as an inherited, when we trash a card from our hand using one of our effects, we gain a memory. What's really cool about this is Purple has been in need of like trashing card, like a benefit to just draw one, trash one. This increases that even further along. Next we have Skull Mammoth Mon, a blocker Digimon. On all turns, when we have 3 or fewer security, this Digimon gets an extra 2000 DP. So when you're falling behind your opponent, you have a 13,000 DP blocker, which a Mega level blocker I believe is pretty new for Yellow, in this booster pack at least. And then we have Tropical Venom. Give one of our opponent's Digimon on deletion, lose 2 memory until the end of their next turn. That's a good way to stop your opponent from wanting to delete their Digimon. And also, this is fun fact, if you've been paying, look at that. We got actually one of each color before moving on to our other cards. That's kind of cool. Oh, this is a good one. Parabolic Junk. One of our Digimon gains on deletion, gain 2 memory until the end of our opponent's next turn. Take this little boy, you slap it on a blocker. Your opponent's either going to give you memory by attacking, or he's going to not attack. Either way, you come out on top. Howling Memory Boost. So the Memory Boost cards are pretty cool. We can trash up to 2 Digivolution cards from the bottom of one of our opponent's Digimon. Then, one of our opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack or block until the end of our opponent's next turn. Then we place the card in our battle area, and that's what's interesting. This is a new keyword called delay. Basically, you can put the card into your battle area, and then you can trash it to gain whatever its delay effect is. In this case, it's gain 2 memory. and then as a security card, it just lands in our area. This is good. You could store up a bunch of these and gain, with 4 of them, you could gain 8 memory in a single turn if you really needed it. Or you just hold it off for when you just need that little extra boost. As of right now, there's no cards that delete delayed cards. So it's a very safe card to play too. And sometimes when you can't draw that memory tamer, this is a good alternative. Pomumon. It's a 3/1/5 Digimon. Just a generic green Digimon, but still a very cool artwork. I love the Agumon running. They seem to be running from something, but obviously it's not whatever's chasing them, because Pagumon's very sleepy and very bored by this. On deletion, we reveal a top card of our deck, added to our hand if it's a black Digimon. Otherwise, we place it at the bottom of our deck. Oh, and our first rare ever is Mat Ishida. When one of our Digimon with Gabumon or Garurumon in its name moves from the breeding area to the battle area, we gain a memory and we draw 1. And once per turn, we can Digivolve a Gabumon into a Gabumon Bond of Friendship in our hand for its Digivolution cost, ignoring the level. If we do, we have to trash the top 2 cards of our security stack, and then if we have 1 or more security, delete that Digimon at the end of the turn. For those of you who saw Digimon Last Evolution Kizuna, you know why this effect is kind of the way it is, and just it's a nice little nod to just the bond between Mat and Gabumon. There's a tie card just like this one, except with Agumon and Greymon, that we'll probably pull, hopefully. And our other rare... our other rare is not a rare. Our other rare, and our first booster pack, mind you, is Azulongmon. If any of you are playing with Hex Blaumon, this is a card you are looking for. So when Digivolving, we trash 1 Digivolution card from the bottom of all of our opponent's Digimon, and then gain 1 memory for each of our opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards. If you pulled this off the right way, you could gain memory from Digivolving. If you're facing something like Rookie Rush, or something like Security Control, which doesn't really use a lot of Inheriteds, it's obviously that's not going to happen too terribly often, because if your opponent has 6 Digimon on the board, you have bigger problems than getting Azulongmon out. But for each Digimon with no Digivolution cards our opponent has in play, he gains Security Attack +1. If you think about it, your opponent having a very wide board, it could gain you memory, and he could wipe out an entire security stack by himself. And blue is really good at unsuspending their Digimon. So, he wipes the board. Or not wipes the board, he wipes out the security. And then another Digimon takes it from there, probably Hex Blaumon. This is a great start. We are off to a great start here. I'm not too terribly, that's... I'm a little flabbergasted. I was just expecting 2 rares. On the note of rares, let me know what you guys think about the rares getting almost the same level of holographic treatment that the super rares are getting. Alright, our next is Parabolic Junk, which you already went over. Ooh, this Elecmon has an on deletion where we delete one of our opponent's level 3 Digimon. That's a good, you take me out, I take you out kind of deal. Then we got Baluchimon. This is Tapermon's champion form. On play, if we have 3 or fewer security, we can draw 2. That's actually really nice. 4 costs, draw 2. It's almost like that... Oh, what was that card from Yu-Gi-Oh? Something about drawing 2. It's a very rare card. Nobody's ever heard of it. I'll let you know if I remember the name. Ooh, our next card is Gigadromon. With an inherited that lets our Digimon gain 2,000 DP during our opponent's turn. And then during our turn, this Digimon is also treated as red. This is a great Digimon to Digivolve your blockers into, or if you're going to use them in a red deck, it's a great Digimon to Digivolve your big attacker into, because even though he's suspended, that's 2,000 more DP your opponent has to worry about. Next up, we got Strabimon. With an inherited, if this Digimon has hybrid or 10 warriors in its form or type, gain a memory. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's good for, well, if you're trying to run a 10 warriors deck. This is going to come into play really nice once cards like Suzanomon or maybe another ancient Garurumon. But for now, it's a good card. I wouldn't say it's a fantastic card, but for now, it's a good card. Ooh. Mammoth. It's a Mega level Digimon with Retaliation. When this Digimon... Oh, on deletion. If we have 10 or more cards in our trash, we can play one Ornismon from our trash without paying its memory. Hopefully we'll pull an Ornismon so that I can explain, but I believe it has an extra security attack, which is why it's a really good combo to have those two. This Tinkermon, on deletion, one of our opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1 until the end of our opponent's next turn. For those of you who run Petermon in your deck, this Tinkermon does count. So if you find yourself whiffing on Petermon's effect, you now have twice as many Tinkermons, which could make Petermon a better card to use. Then we got this Moyamon. While our opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards in play, this Digimon gains jamming. Now, granted, the caveat here is no Digimon with Digivolution cards. 5,000 DP is pretty good for a Digimon with jamming, though. Given, they have to defend themselves when they're not in play. Plus, the Inherited's pretty nice. We trash a Digivolution card from the bottom of one of our opponent's Digimon. No level restriction. What did I say? Well, I said, I'll pull an Ornismon, and it's in the exact same booster pack. It's like they knew I wanted to explain the effect. So, on play, we can delete one of our opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon, and he has security attack +1. Mammoth retaliates into one of your enemy's Mega level Digimon or level 7 Digimon. This dude pops up immediately after, boom, gets rid of your opponent's level 5 Digimon. The big ones aren't safe, the little ones aren't safe, all over, good card. Ooh, Pinamon. This was the box topper, so that's kind of nice to know. I now have both versions. Ooh, and for our rares, we get Entmon. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, unsuspend it. Ooh, and Izzy Azumi and Joe Keto. This is a tamer which gives us 2 memory if our opponent has 2 or more Digimon at the start of our turn. And during our opponent's turn, when one of our black Digimon is deleted, we can suspend to gain a memory. That's actually really helpful, especially because black Digimon, not only do they have a lot of blockers, but we're also getting a new keyword, decoy, in this booster pack, which a lot of black Digimon have. For our next pack, we get Armon, which is just a good champion level Digimon. And reinforcing memory boost. So we reveal 2 cards from our deck, from the top of our deck, and then place one of them in our security stack, adding the remaining to our hand, and then placing this card in the battle area. It's another memory boosting card with a delay that gives 3 memory, but if you'll note up here, it costs 6. But for 6 memory, effectively 3, because later you'll gain 3 of it back, it is a draw 1, recovery +1 of your choice of those 2. So while your opponent now knows what your top security card is, you have control over, which of those 2 it's going to be, and you have 3 memory just sitting and waiting to be used. Which, if you had enough memory, you could immediately use right again. Let's see, we got Ginkakumon. Ooh, Deputymon. This is a Digimon who is literally a gun, and one of the first censored cards we're getting in this game. Note clearly that none of his barrels are smoking, implying that his gun has not been fired. On play, we reveal the top 4 cards of our deck. We can add a Digimon with 3 Musketeers, and or 1 option card with a memory cost of 7 among them to our hand, trashing the remaining cards. Ooh, trashing. That's interesting. On our turn, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Digimon with 3 Musketeers in its type for a memory cost of 6. So the 3 Musketeer cards are red, black, and purple. So this is actually really nice to have to sort of offshoot their color differences. Ooh, Megadromon. Unlike Gigadromon, this one gives us 2000 DP on our turn, so he's the more aggressive of the two. But he is also treated as a black card, which is pretty nice. It's basically just the opposite. Digivolves from both red and black, just like the other one digivolved from both black and red. So overall, you're not really doing much of a difference with these cards, but it's still 4 copies of each in a deck that could play both red and black. Our next card is Shoutmon. If this Digimon has Blitz, we get to draw 1 when attacking. So it's good in an Omni Shoutmon deck, as that did need just a little extra kick. So who knows? You might see a lot more Shoutmon decks. Next up, we get Mistymon. When a card is removed from our security stack, one of our opponent's Digimon loses 2000 DP. And this is during our turn though, so you're going to have to decide whether or not you want to activate that. Look, it's Babamon. This is the grandma Digimon. It digivolves from both yellow and green, and the reason for that is, on deletion, we can play a Rosemon or up to 2 yellow level 3 Digimon from our hand without paying their memory costs. This is really cute because Babamon in the lore is basically just a Rosemon that didn't digivolve properly and wilted. I believe that's how the lore goes. Regardless, I'm definitely going to try and pull off a Rosemon deck, and I'm hoping this little Babamon gives me a hand with that. We got another Pomumon. Ooh, and this is Volcamon. It's a reboot Digimon, which is very common in black. But it also gets a once per turn during our opponent's turn. When one of our other Digimon is deleted, trigger D-Digivolve 1 on one of our opponent's Digimon. So, with the aforementioned decoy, which I'm hoping I pull a decoy so I can show you guys, but with the aforementioned decoy, this is a great way to gain benefits from losing your Digimon, which is something black desperately needed. Oh, hey, it's that Ty I was talking about, who I really wished I had gotten a stamped pre-release version of him, but I got one of Matt, so if anyone out there wants to trade. Anyways, on our turn, it's the same as the Matt one, except with Agumon and Greymon in its name. We can gain a memory and draw 1, and then we can digivolve an Agumon straight into Agumon Bond of Bravery by trashing the top 2 cards of our security, and then they get deleted if we have 1 or more security left. Again, big risk, but big reward. And for our other rare, it is Manticoremon. When attacking, we can trash the top card of our security stack and have one of our opponents get minus 5,000 DP for the turn. You put this, couple it with a different Digimon that has Mistymon underneath, you could make your opponent lose 7,000 DP in a single, security blast. For our next pack, we get Ferrismon, which is just a generic, vanilla purple Digimon with a pretty decent high DP, if you want my opinion. Then we got Bulkmon. On our turn, if we have 3 or more security cards, this Digimon gains security attack +1, which, again, security attack plus is more of a red thing than a yellow thing, but it's nice to have cards like that. Especially since the Pulsemon family really relies on having 3 as like the sweet spot of security. We got another Strabimon. Ooh, and this is Baluchimon. Its inherited effect is when attacking, once per turn, if we have a Sistermon in its name, we can delete one of our opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. Now, another fun fact, this is another censored card. We got Sistermon Blanc here, Sistermon CL down here, but you'll notice there's some empty space here. That's because there's a Digimon called Sistermon Noir, and for some reason, because of the whole nun with a gun look that she's got going on, she's just kind of removed from English-speaking cards. I'm kind of hoping that gets retconned later, but we'll see. Oh, next we got Mammoth Mon. When we have 3 or fewer security, this Digimon gains 1000 DP. That goes great with the Skull Mammoth Mon that we had earlier, who gains DP based on that same effect. So Digivolving into him could put a pretty big blocker on your side of the field. Next we got Modoki Betaman. On all turns, your opponent can't gain memory except with tamer effects. We've seen this effect before, but it's a good effect, and now Blue has it, so that's nice. Got another Megadramon. Got another Babumon. Ooh! This Gabumon. Once per turn, when we play a tamer with Mat Ishida in its name, gain a memory. And then it's inherited. If this Digimon is Gabumon Bond of Friendship, we can unsuspend it when attacking. What's interesting about that is the whole Mat Ishida in its name, which kind of implies that the Tai and Mat card from the last booster pack would count. So if you're running an Omnimon deck, or if you're running a Gabumon tribal deck, or whatever you want to do, don't not consider that card, actually, because it would count, theoretically. As far as the Bond of Friendship, from what I know about the card, it already can unsuspend itself. So this would basically give Bond of Friendship 3 attacks rather than 2. Oh! See, this is the one, if I had to pick, this is the one I wanted as my box topper. This is Majiramon. When attacking this Digimon, when this Digimon attacks a player, it gets 1000 extra DP. The only reason I really wanted it as a box topper is just because red is like my main color when it comes to how I play. And for our rares, we get another Izzy and Joe. So I'm gonna be real with you guys. In the pre-release event, I managed to pull Beelstarmon, and it totally slipped my mind that there would be another secret rare in this box, because in my head I'm like, well, I want the Altart of Agumon, and I want the Altart of Agumon Bond of Friendship. I wasn't even thinking about secret rares, but thanks to this, I now have both. This is Alphamon, and let me see if I can get that. There's a lot of text there. At the end of the battle, because it's a security effect, we can add this card to our hand. Then, if a Digimon with Royal Knight or X antibody and its type is in play, up to 12 of your opponent's Digimon can't attack players for the turn. When attacking, you may pay up to 5 memory, and if we do, this Digimon gains 1000 DP for the turn for each memory paid. Then at the end of the attack, we gain 2 memory. It seems like a good card, in my opinion, but I don't know. I think a few more X antibody or Royal Knight cards are going to have to show up before this card is considered unstoppable. But for the time being, that's a good, what is that, our 4th? That is a great 4th booster pack. Most boxes have either 2 Altarts or an Altart and a secret art, or secret rare. So to pull that one so soon, remember that when you're at your local game store. Sometimes the top boxes have the card you're looking for, not the bottom ones. I'm a little superstitious, but that broke a lot of superstitions I've had. So, oh, come on. There you go. Alright, next up, we get Dramon. He can Digivolve from one of our green tamers as if the tamer was a level 3 Digimon, which is kind of cool. He's got piercing, which is also nice, and something that green decks, have a lot of. It's just nice to see hybrids in colors other than red and blue. I think either the next booster pack or the one thereafter, Japan's quite ahead of us, but we are going to get our hands on a lot of hybrid Digimon that can just Digivolve straight from tamers, and they make a great threat because with a tamer on the board, your opponent doesn't know if you could just Digivolve and swing for game, so they have to play around that on top of everything else going on. Next is Tinkermon. Ooh, this Gizamon, who gives a inherited effect of giving extra 2000 DP when the opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards in play. Ooh, we got this Eosmon. When on play, we can play a white Tamer card with a play cost of 4 or less, and then our opponent can play a Tamer card from their hand without paying its memory cost. When attacking, we can play a white Tamer with a play cost of 4 or less from our hand. This is basically just trying to go with Manoa. If I pull one of those, I'll be able to show you guys in better detail, but Eosmon was like an artificial evil partner Digimon created by Manoa. You'd have to watch the movie. It's interesting. Anyways, we got Chikurimon. Chikurimon is a security Digimon. At the end of the battle, will trigger D-Digivolve 1 on one of our opponent's Digimon. That's very nice. And a good surprise D-Digivolve on one of our opponents. Next up we get Shoutmon, another Mistymon. And I'm going to batch the my German ancestry would be ashamed. Gewalt Schwarmer? I think that's how it's pronounced. If we have a Three Musketeers Digimon, we can use this option card without meeting its color requirement, and it deletes all Digimon with a play cost of 7 or less. Now that includes your opponent's and your own Digimon, so keep that in mind when blasting this card out. Its security adds it to your hand, so you don't have to worry about your opponent accidentally blasting your entire board, but keep this in mind if you're playing with smaller Digimon. Next we got Blasted Disaster. We suspend all of our opponent's Digimon, and then gain a memory for each of our opponent's suspended Digimon. And as a security effect, we suspend one of our opponent's Digimon. So it's like a super hyped up needle spray, mixed with Flower Cannon with the whole, like, hitting all of them. But for 6 memory, I'm not really sure if it's worth it or not. Ooh! Next up, we get this Impmon. We can trash a card in our hand, and if we do, we can return a Digimon with 7 Great Demon Lords or 3 Musketeers in its type from our trash to our hand. The reason it's both of those is, lore-wise, Impmons are capable of digivolving into either Beelstarmon, who is a 3 Musketeer, or into, why am I blanking on his name? Beelzemon, which is one of the 7 Great Demon Lords. And for our rares, we get Rebellimon. When digivolving, we can trash a card in our hand to have this Digimon gain blocker and retaliation. And on all turns, this Digimon is treated as black. So a blocker with retaliation is horrifying, because basically I get to decide which of your attacking Digimon dies. And even if I block one of your smaller Digimon, you can't run Rebellimon down, because they'll die as well. And our other one is Wyvern's Breath, which for 8 cost is one of our opponent's Digimon gets minus 15,000 DP for the turn. This is basically just a better 7 Heavens, because 7 Heavens costs 7, obviously, and lowers the opponent's DP by 10,000. So for 1 memory more, you're getting a 50% increase in power. Why wouldn't you pick that? I'm going to say, if anyone does play 7 Heavens, you're probably not going to be playing it much anymore, unless that 1 memory really is important to you. Our next pack has another Chikurimon. Ooh, Gabumon. An inherited effect of once per turn, we can trash a card when we trash a card in our hand using one of our effects. This Digimon gains 2,000 DP. Very nice. Another Eosmon. Another Gizamon. Another Ashiramon. Ooh, Panyamon. When attacking, once per turn, gain a memory. It seems like all of the Leomon line cards give you, like, memory one way or another, mostly through getting deleted, so it's kind of nice to see one of them not doing that. Nanimon. It's a 3-cost champion level Digimon, which in my opinion is already a great thing, but he is a security champion Digimon, and while he's not a blocker like Shademon, he is still a champion that your opponent wasn't expecting, which can allow a quick Digivolution into an ultimate you may have desperately needed. We got Savior Huckmon here. He is the ultimate level of Huckmon. And when digivolving, we can play a Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from our hand without paying its memory cost. And then as an inherited, if we have a Digimon with Sistermon, we can unsuspend this Digimon. I'm hoping to pull Sistermon Blanc. Sistermon Blanc, because in my pre-release packs I already pulled CL. So even for collection purposes, it would just be nice to have one of each. But if I get enough, Jasmon may see some play from me, despite my love of only playing Agumon. This one right here, this is my favorite card art. Like, not my favorite card because it's just, when our opponent has an unsuspended Digimon, this Digimon gains security attack +1, which, don't get me wrong, is nice, but look at that art. He is just rocking it out. This is Volcanomon, by the way. He is just rocking out, and then you just see these other two, the Agumon and the Black Agumon, and they're both just like, Sir, we are playing a card game. This is just a game. This is a card shop. This is not this is not karaoke night. I don't know. I just think the card art's hilarious. Another Howling Memory boost. Oh, and for our rares, we get Manoa Bellucci. So at the start of our turn, if we have 2 memory or less, we set it to 3. This is a memory tamer. And then on our turn, when I play an Eosmon, we can suspend this tamer to reveal 3 cards at the top of our deck and add a tamer or a Digimon card with Eosmon in its name to our hand. Then place the remaining cards at the bottom of our deck. When we have an Eosmon during our opponent's turn, our opponent's tamers don't unsuspend. I know I've said this a couple times, but Kizuna spoilers here. There is, basically, lore-wise, she puts everyone to sleep. Hence, because in the Digimon card game in Japan, a suspended card is considered resting. And they can't unsuspend because they can't wake up from the dream she placed them in. I love this. I love this stuff about how they take the lore, or they take like the context of the movies and stuff, and they put them into the cards. Our other rare is Majiramon. When digivolving, we can trash a Digivolution card from the top of one of our opponent's Digimon. And when attacking, if our opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards in play, unsuspend this Digimon. Remember what I was saying about Azulongmon? Yeah, this guy, basically his right hand, and he is going to wreck the meta. I'm calling it. Not much of a blue player myself, but guys like him got me heavily considering. And for our next pack, we got another Gabumon, another Dramon. Ooh, Judgment of the Blade. It is a 1-cost red card. One of our Digimon with Huckmon in its name or Royal Knight in its type can attack our opponent's unsuspended Digimon for the turn. For security, we can play a Sistermon from our hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Then add this card to our hand. I love security cards that do stuff and then go to your hand. It's like a 2-for-1 special on these things. Okay, I know he's just vanilla, but look at that. That's big Mammoth Mon. He big. There's nothing else to say about him. He's just big. Another Ferrismon. Gigadromon. Skull Mammoth Mon. Ooh, Flamemon. Let's see. While this Digimon is hybrid or 10 warriors in its form or type, it gains piercing. That's really nice for any of you running Ancient Greymon. Or any red hybrid deck. Ooh, Chiaromon gives the inherited of when one of our opponent's Digivolution cards is trashed, draw a card. Really nice considering, the stuff we've gotten recently. Junkmon. So, there was a learning event that went on, and as one of the guys who went to the event, I went there because I wanted to teach people how to play, not to learn how to play, obviously. But Junkmon's one of the cards you got in the, how to play deck. So it was really cool. So I actually already have a few copies of him, but you gain a memory when, he gets deleted as an inherited. Ooh, and for our rares, we get Rattlestar, which return one of our opponent's Digimon, level 5 or lower, to their hand. If our opponent has 3 or more Digimon in play, we can return one of our opponent's Digimon to the bottom of its owner's deck instead, trash all the Digivolution cards. That's a very nice card, and great against swarming strategies. Ooh! And our other rare is TK and Kari Kamiya. If we have 3 or fewer security cards, then... Oh, if we have fewer security cards, not 3 or fewer. If we have fewer security than our opponent, gain 2 memory. That's a good card. That alone is a great effect. But when one of our yellow Digimon attacks, we can suspend this tamer to have an opponent's Digimon lose 1000 DP. So I like these dual tamers. It's their adult looks, the way they are at basically the end of the original Digimon story. Again, I know I'm said spoilers, but the ending of Kizuna is just... I haven't actually teared up from a Digimon thing ever until that movie. And I will leave it at that. Alright, so Tapermon, or Tapirmon, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Once per turn, when a card is removed from your security stack, trigger draw 1. So that's a pretty useful card. Another Megadramon. Ooh, Boogimon. Just based on the Boogeyman. It's another vanilla purple card, but it's really nice, you know. He's 7,000 DP is pretty good for a champion, so it's a good card for your deck if you're just looking for something to fill. Parabolic Junk, Mammoth Mon. Ooh, Eldoradimon. A green Digimon with security attack +1, and on our opponent's turn, our opponent's effects can't reduce this Digimon's DP, so even that mighty Wyvern's Breath we saw earlier cannot break through this 12,000 DP big boy. Honestly, good card, personally. Yellow is one of the decks I struggle against as a black and red player, so it's nice to see cards that are starting to counter its more prominent deletion ability. We got Baluchimon, Demimeramon, Blasted Disaster, Gewalt Schwarmer, and for our rares we get Sora and Mimi. At the start of our turn, if our opponent doesn't have a level 4 or lower Digimon, we gain 2 memory. So, good for fighting against decks that rely on big Digimon. And on our turn, if a purple Digimon attacks, we can suspend to draw 1, trash 1. Hey, another super rare. We got Jasmon. So, Jasmon is a royal knight of the, Digimon lore. And when attacking, we can play 1 Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from our hand or trash without paying its memory. And, once per turn, when we play another Digimon, this Digimon gets 3000 DP and Piercing. Now, keep that in mind, with the 1 cost card we got earlier, Jasmon could Digivolve, summon a Sistermon, gain Piercing, and then, with that option card, attack unsuspended Digimon. That's a pretty good threatening Digimon to have. Well, awesome. That's another super rare for us. So far, the packs have been pretty generous to us. And weirdly enough, though, I have not seen the Eosmon. There's an Eosmon in here that you can have 50 of in your deck, and we haven't even pulled 1. But for now, we got Forbidden Trident. We got another Judgment of the Blade. We were just talking about that. Ooh, this is Ginkakumon. So, like Ginkakumon, she works together with Ginkakumon Promote. Inherited effect, when attacking, you can trash 1 card in your hand to delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. So, pretty useful. Another Gigadromon, Reinforcing Memory Boost, Strabimon, Bulkmon, Bibimon. Once per turn, if we have 3 or fewer security, or just 3, we gain a memory, which is, again, typical of the Pulsemon line, is to rely on having 3 memory at any given time. Another Gabumon. Oh, hey, I was just talking. Ginkakumon Promote. So this guy's got Rush, and his on-play effect, now granted, that's a 6 cost to play, so you got to think this through. You can place Ginkakumon and or Ginkakumon from your trash in this card's Digivolution cards in any order. If we place 2 cards with this effect, we can trigger draw 1 and gain 1 memory. So if you do it right, you'll draw a card and he'll only cost 5 to play. It's a pretty good effect, and with cards like I'm blanking on the name. Lilithmon. You use Lilithmon, you use Jack Raid, you work together with those cards, and you get a lot of memory stored up. This guy with Rush can do a pretty big number on your opponent's security stack. Ooh! On the note of decoys, we finally have an example. This is Mammoth, and he has decoy, specifically black decoy. I'll pull it in a little closer. See? Decoy black, which implies that other colors will be getting decoys. And you can just delete him instead of one of your other black Digimon. Now, it doesn't say it on this card, but there has been some errata text that basically says it's when they get deleted by an opponent's card effect, or maybe it's a card effect or an option card. But it's not, you can't use this in tandem with your own purple cards or something. So keep that in mind when playing this card, that there have been some rule changes. Our other rare is another Sora and Mimi. So far, I have to say, one of the things I like about this booster pack has been the ratios. We haven't pulled too many of the same card. Oh, speaking of new card, another new common, Bakuman. This is a cardboard box Digimon, which is awesome. I love the cat Digimon surrounding him from all over the place, because as a guy with cats, yeah, cats love cardboard boxes. If your opponent has 2 or more suspended Digimon when attacking, gain 1 memory. Hey! It's that Eosmon! So, it's an ultimate level. Its inherited effect gives the Digimon 1000 DP. And we can play an Eosmon level 5 or lower from our hand without paying its memory cost when this Digimon attacks. What makes this card the most interesting, though, is right here, it says, we can include up to 50 copies of this card with this card's card number in our deck. So it has to specifically be BT6085, but we can have 50 in a card game where you have a max and minimum deck of 50 cards. Definitely going to try and get my hands on 50 of these, because I'm going to make a 50 card deck just for lols. Another Ginkakumon, Modoki Betaman, Tinkermon, Elecmon, Tropical Venom. Hey, we got Sunomon here. Once per turn, we can trash a card from our hand using one of our effects. Once per turn. When we do that, we draw 1. So even something like draw 1, trash 1, little by little, it does its job. Ooh, another card. We got Happy Bullet Showering. If we have a Digimon with 3 Musketeers, we can use this option card without meeting color requirements. Delete all of our opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. It's good if your opponent has a lot of Digimon with the same DP. Again, I know I used Rookie Rush as a term, but basically if your opponent has a wide board with a lot of similar DP Digimon, it's a good safe card to have in your deck. Another Pomumon. Hey, speaking of the 3 Musketeers, we got Gundramon. Another censored card. I know I've mentioned this already, but right here, there's supposed to be like a broken, shattered glass effect, implying that, you know, he shot the camera. I thought that was really cool. Sadly, it's not something we get here. But he does have blocker with 11,000 DP. And when digivolving, we reveal the top 5 cards of our deck. We can use 1 option card with a memory cost of 7 among them without paying its memory cost. Then we trash the remaining cards. If we don't use an option card, we can delete one of our opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. Is it super crazy good? Nah. But is it a nice card? Yeah. Oh, hey, and the other 3 Musketeer. That's funny. Magna Kidmon. He has Security Attack +1, which is nice. And then when Digivolving, we can use an option card with a memory cost of 7 in our hand without paying its memory cost. And if we don't do that, we delete one of our opponent's Digimon with a 4,000 or less DP. I wonder if you're detecting the pattern, but the Three Musketeers, one, rely on just Three Musketeers support, but all use 7-cost option cards that can ignore their color if you have a different Three Musketeer on board. Sadly, we already pulled Alphamon, so we know we're not pulling Beelstarmon, but I already have Beelstarmon, so as a collector, that's not a terrible thing for me. If you are trying to run a Three Musketeer deck, though, it's great to have all three. So try your best to get at least one copy of Beelstarmon. She's pretty good. For our next pack, we got Strabimon, Tapermon, Mermukumon, another Forbidden Trident. Ooh, Deltamon. He's vanilla, but 7,000 DP on a champion is nothing to blow wind at. So, just a good card. Reinforcing Memory Boost, Eldoradimon, Gabumon, Ginkakumon Promote, Pagumon. This was another one that came in the Learn to Play deck that I had my hands on. On deletion, we reveal the top card of our deck and add it to the hand if it's a black Digimon card. Otherwise, place it on the bottom of our deck. I will have to say for our rares, we got Morphomon. On deletion, we reveal the top 5 cards of our deck, add a Manoa, and a Digimon with Eosmon in its name among them to our hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of our deck in any order. And our other rare is Cutting Edge. We can play a level 5 or lower Eosmon from our hand without paying its memory cost, and then delete an opponent's Digimon with a DP less than or equal to the Digimon played with this effect. That's nice. So, after pulling, I think that's the third Gabumon I've pulled. Starting to notice a severe lack of Agumon pulling. I don't want to say I'm a little disappointed, but if you take a look at the playmat that I have here right in front of this camera, I'm a big fan of Agumon and have seen a severe lack of Agumon with all this Gabumon around. Anyways, another Mermukusmon. Oh, another Big Mammoth, Tinkermon, Parasarmon. Ooh, Glaive Memory Boost. So we return a purple Digimon from our trash to our hand, and then place this card in our battle area. It then has a delay effect that'll give us 2 memory. Very nice. Another Baluchimon, Deputymon. Ooh, Wizardmon. He gives an inherited effect. Once per turn, when a card is removed from our security stack, we gain a memory. Kyaromon and Junkmon. And for our rares, we get another TK and Kari. Ooh, and Iron Fisted Onslaught. We delete all of our opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost. That is actually pretty good hard removal. Typically, your opponent's best card, their big boss monster, will have the highest play cost among them. So even if you're only deleting 1, it's still worth the effort. And even better if your opponent has 2. Think of it as a Gaia Force that works on 2 cards rather than 1. Panyamon. We got Ginkakumon, another Deputymon, Mammoth Mon, Dragomon. I think I already said this card, but let's just be safe. We can return one of our opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon with no Digivolution costs to its owner's hand. Another Nanimon, Megadramon, Blasted Disaster. Oh, another Wizardmon, another Savior Huckmon. Oh, and for our rares, we get Underworld's Call, which, when we trash this card in our hand using one of our effects, we trigger Draw 1. Its main effect, though, we can play a purple level 4 or lower Digimon from our trash without paying its memory cost. Now, it doesn't say their on-play effects don't activate, so keep that in mind. And our other rare is Huckmon! What if he was red? His on-play effect lets us reveal the top 5 cards of our deck, We can add up to 2 Digimon cards with Huckmon, Jasmon, or Sistermon in their names among them to our hand. Then place the remaining cards at the bottom of our deck in any order. It's pretty nice to see rookie level Digimon as rares. I'm not gonna lie to you. I always feel like that's kind of neat, because typically you see rares as only like ultimate level or option cards or trainers, tamers. So it's nice when a rookie gets that kind of treatment. Our next is Apemon, a champion with 8,000 DP. He doesn't need an effect. He is just a thick boy. We got another Deltamon, another Ferrismon, Dramon. Ooh, Octomon. Just a vanilla card, but I plan on running a pirate-themed deck once enough pirate-themed cards come out, and this guy with all these treasures around him is just the perfect add-on. We got Elekmon, Toyagumon, Pukumon. This one's got Digiburst 2. My Digimon cannot be blocked by my opponent's Digimon this turn. That's actually really nice. You take all your blue Digimon and they just ignore blockers for the turn. There's the boy. That's my boy. It's Agumon. Alright. So when we play a tamer with tie in its name, we gain a memory. So effectively making the tie cards all cost 1 less. When this Digimon is Agumon Bond of Bravery, it gains security attack +1. So just need 3 more copies of this little guy, and I will be very happy. Got another Sunomon. And for our rares, we get another Manticoremon. Yeah, no, okay, alright, that's fine, that's cool. It's still a cool card. I need to get one for collection, but I was really hoping for Agumon first. This is Gabumon, Bond of Friendship. When attacking, once per turn, if we have a tamer in play, we can unsuspend this Digimon. And when attacking, we can return one of our opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon to the bottom of the owner's deck, trashing all their Digivolution cards. What's cool about this is how hard it counters all those Eosmon that should be swarming the board, as the lore would imply here. Combine this with the Gabumon card that can warp Digivolve into him with Matt's help, and this bad boy with 14,000 DP can attack your opponent 3 times in a single turn. It's a good thing he ain't got no security attack bonus, or else you would be running home to your mothers. Alright, come on everybody. Say it with me. Alternate art, Agumon, Bond of Bravery. Or, you know, just the regular alternate art Agumon. That would be kind of cool. But for now, we got Skull Mammoth Mon, Modoki Betaman, another Bakumon, another Eosmon, Dragomon, Ginkakumon, Tropical Venom. Look, it's Arberman. So Arberman is just like Dramon in that it can Digivolve from a tamer as if it were a level 3 Digimon. He doesn't have any special abilities, but he only Digivolves for 2 rather than Dramon's 3. And sometimes that can make all the difference. Then this 1-cost card we got here is Acid Injection. We trash the top card of our security stack. Then one of our opponents loses 5,000 DP for the turn. At first, this doesn't look like a very good card because... it looks like a fantastic card because of the minus 5,000 DP for only a single memory, but then you gotta remember, you're trashing your security stack. While that's great in yellow for a lot of recovery, sometimes it can come with quite the risk. You may trash something that you really didn't want to trash, maybe even like a tamer, which is really hard to get back. So remember the risk-reward when playing a card like that. We also get Happy Bullet Showering. And for our rares, we get another Tai Kamiya. And Mammoth Mon. What's cool is he's another decoy card. And on deletion, we delete one of our opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 7 or less. So that's actually a really nice combo. Our opponent, could try to delete one of our Digimon. But with Mammoth Mon on the board, he's risking your opponent is risking one of their own cards in exchange. Mammoth Mon's not risking anything. Next pack we get Boogimon, Armon, Toyagumon, Ashiramon, another Bulkmon, Parabolic Junk, Glaive Memory Boost, Ornismon, Babamon, another Agumon, and for our rares, another TK and Kari, and a super rare Dynastmon. With all these TKs and Karis, it feels like I have no choice but to play yellow in the next time I play with my local store. Dynastmon, when digivolving, we can trash the top card of our security stack to reveal the top 6 cards of our deck. Add up to 2 level 6 or lower Digimon cards among them into our hand, trashing the remaining cards. And for all turns, once per turn, when a card is removed from our security stack, if we have 3 or fewer security, we can recover 1. So, it's actually really nice, because even if you're at 4, which, is a pretty easy number to get to for your security stack, he basically works as a shield every single turn for at least one of your security cards. Next up we got Chikurimon, Shoutmon, Mistymon, Goblibop, Gizamon, another Eosmon, Murmukusmon, I always slow down to say his name, Ginkakumon Promote, Pinamon, Mojamon, and for our rares, another Iron Fisted Onslaught. Ooh, and 2 super rares in a row with Skullgreymon. When we trash this card in our hand using one of our effects, we can place it under one of our purple Digimon, which is really great as a Digivolution card because he comes with Retaliation. When attacking, we can trash one card in our hand to have this Digimon gain 3000 DP. So you're looking at either a 10,000 DP ultimate or a Retaliation on pretty much any Digimon you have as long as it's purple. That's a really good card. Come on, we still got a few more packs to go, so let's keep hoping for that Bond of Bravery. Which honestly should be Bond of Courage, considering they, translated almost everything else over from the original translations, but that's just my opinion. We got Baluchimon, Baluchimon, Octomon, Apemon, Eosmon, another Gizamon and a Gabumon, another Howling Memory Boost. Oh, Fly Bullet. If we have a 3 Musketeer and its type in play, we can use this option without meeting the color requirements. And if we do, we use its main effect and delete one of our opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon. So it's just a nice little Gaia Force. Another Pinamon, and for our rares we got Matt Ishida and Manoa Bellucci. We are down to our last, I think I see 6 cards, 6 booster packs in there. So keep holding on to hope. With Parasarmon, Panyamon, another Baluchimon, Ginkakumon. Oh, another of those Eosmons I'll need. We got Forbidden Trident, Boogimon, another Fly Bullet, Savior Huckmon, Pile Volcamon, and for our rares we got Sistermon CL. For all turns, all of our Digimon with Huckmon in their name or Royal Knight in their type gets 2000 DP, and on play we gain a memory. So if we just play her straight from our hand, she is a play cost of 4, but we'll gain a memory, so effectively she costs 3. What's cool about this card, or not cool depending on how you look at it, this card in Japan, BT6-084, is supposed to be Sistermon Noir. But again, that whole nuns with guns thing. Nicely, though, they did keep Sistermon CL's sword, and they actually gave her some, of her own artwork. They didn't just slap blue on Sistermon Noir. She even has her own alternate art card. So collectors the world over are trying to get their hands on both. So if anyone from Japan wants to trade, maybe a Sistermon Noir for a CL, hit me up. That'd be kind of cool. My son! It's Agumon! Bond of Bravery! Oh, I'm so happy! So, as we mentioned earlier, he does work with the Tai and Agumon that are already in this booster pack. When attacking, if we have a Tamer, we can delete one of our opponent's Digimon with 13,000 DP or less. That's a lot of Digimon in this game. And, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted during our turn, we can trash the top card of their security stack. So, he swings in. He gets a security attack +1 from Agumon, deletes an opponent's Digimon, and takes out 3 security cards in a single swing. Comparatively, Gabumon, Bond of Friendship, takes out 3 security cards in 3 swings. So, in terms of security destruction, they're pretty equal. But in terms of raw power, can we really compare the two? Come on. Well, okay, now, admittedly, I still want the alternate art, but it's just nice to have at least one copy for collection purposes, and, well, I'll try my best to get 3 more copies to build a real deck. But for now, we'll be happy with the Chikurimon we get, Shoutmon, Mistymon, Deputymon, Baluchimon, oh, almost skipped Dramon here, for Ginkakumon. Oh, hey, Mimicmon. As a guy who plays a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, this card is just really funny to me. It's not a treasure chest, but you can tell by like the gun hand and the little wings coming off his body that this guy does a lot of transforming. If we have 3 or fewer security cards, we gain 2 memory on play. So he's effectively a champion that can cost only 2 to play. That's pretty nice. Considering, he only has 3,000 DP, he's not that strong, but the speed at which you could Digivolve from him is something that can't be argued. Another Arberman, another Volcanomon, and for our rares we get Ancient Troymon. During our opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, they have to suspend we get to suspend 2 of their opponent's Digimon without blocker. And then on deletion, we can play a level 4 or lower Digimon with Hybrid in its form from our hand without paying the memory cost. Most of the time, you'll be playing something like Arberman or Dramon. It's level 4 or lower. Oh, and our other rare is Pulsemon. On play, we can trash cards from the top of our security stack until there are 3 left. Gain a memory for each security card trashed. If you did something to recover really early, you could trash 3 security cards and play this guy for 0. Even if you start the game with him, he only costs 1 to hard play, so he's a pretty nice card to have. Plus, the inherited that comes from him, if we have 3 security cards, this Digimon game's jamming. Now, combine that with the Bulkmon, who has a security attack +1, and you have a jamming champion level Digimon on possibly turn 2 with security attack +1. So that's pretty cool. Next up we got Gigadromon, Octomon, Judgment of the Blade, Eldoradimon, Elekmon, Reinforcing Memory Boost, Nannymon, Terapiamon, Wizardmon, Ornismon, and for our rares, another Matt Ishida, and another Huckmon. Down to the final 3. If there's any card you're hoping to see, now is the time to, well, I guess, hold a wish in your heart. Speak now. Put comments down below. Send thoughts and prayers. Call your councilman. I don't know. But we have Modoki Betaman. So if you were hoping for him, I got good news for you. Next is Nannymon, Tropical Venom, Deltamon, Mermukusmon, Reinforcing Memory Boost, Judgment of the Blade, Flamemon, Pile Volcamon, Moyamon, and for our rares, another Manoa, I was not expecting that. I mean, I was expecting an alternate art card, but I wasn't expecting the alternate art card of the other secret rare. I now own 2 copies of Starmon, and one of which is, oh my, that is really cool. I mean, this is one of those where it's like, I know what I was hoping for, but this is one of those, you found something you were shopping for that you didn't even know you wanted. I got the alt art of Starmon, and I got Alphamon. This was a good box. This was a good box. Oh, jeez, what am I doing? I didn't even say what the card does. I'm like, oh, look at that. That's so cool. Okay, so her ability. Her ability is, when playing this card from our hand, reduce its play cost by 1 for each Three Musketeers card, for Three Musketeers Digimon card, and option card with a memory cost of 7 in our trash. So she does cost 12, but she'll probably cost somewhere around like 8 or 7 when you're really doing the deck right. On play, we can return an option card with a memory cost of 7 from our trash to our hand. Then use an option card with a memory cost of 7 in our hand without paying its memory cost. So that's really cool. This works great with Fly Bullet or the Schwarmer or, well, any 7 cost. You could even use Nailbone if you got it, so go ahead, use that. Alright, our penultimate booster pack. Penultimate means second to last. This is Deltamon. Cool. We got 8mon. We got Baluchimon. Big Mammoth, Glaive Memory Boost. Deputy Mon. Tapermon. BBmon. Mimicmon. Volcanomon. And for our rares, another Gundramon. Oh, and Sister Mont Blanc! I was hoping I'd get you! So on all turns, while we have a Digimon with Huckmon in its name, or Royal Knight in its type, all of our Digimon with Sistermon in their name gains blocker. Then on play, we can draw 1, which is neat. It's like the Gabumon, except it works really great with Jasmon and Huckmon. Although, she has blocker, which means any Royal Knight, which means Omnimon. Something to consider. Alright, we're down to it. This is our last booster pack. We got the alternate art of Starmon, so I don't really know what we can do to top that except the alternate art of Alphamon. Or we get that cool alternate art of Agumon in a field of flowers. That would be really cool. But for now, we'll take the very cool Tapermon, Parisarmon, another Eosmon for my collection, Ginkakumon, and Ashiramon here. We got Mammoth Mon, Octomon, another Demi-Maramon, Toropiamon, Geralt Schwarmer, and for our rares, our final rares, it is Machmon and another Sora and Mimi. So there you have it. This was a pretty good box. We got, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 total super rare or better cards, and 2 of them were secret rares. We got Alphamon and Starmon. These are the only 2 secret rares that are in this booster pack. So this was a really good box, especially considering we got an alternate art of Starmon. Let me know in the comments if I pulled a Digimon you were hoping to see, or if I didn't pull one, and maybe I'll try to do some more double diamond booster packs. Also, only because I don't really see a lot of comments, let me know what you guys think of Heroes versus Villains. Does it need a rule change? Does it need to not exist? Does it need to happen with maybe like more booster pack? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching as always. This is the Hero of Julios, Xing out.